Hey Rockstars, what's going on? SE Rocks here with an exciting edition of 3D Dudes, Drinks, and Discussion, joined with my partner in crime, Xander.
What's going on, SE Rocks? I'm rocking my Snuggie today, and I've got a nice Mountain Dew Baja Blast filled with natural and artificial flavors. You can just taste the artificial flavors in there. Oh my goodness.
Bunch of stuff you can't pronounce, huh, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Couldn't
well,
tell
I got a grape Zevia, 0-calorie soda, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, caffeine-free, non-GMO, project verified, 4 ingredients.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds delicious there, SE Rocks.
It's like a little bit of the bubbly, buddy.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about social media and the effects on life today. Pretty interesting topic.
I thought so. I was like, ooh, I use social media a lot. More than I should, you know. It's fine.
We'll delve into that a little bit along the way. So to get it kicked off, like, what are the direct effects that you feel social media has on, like, you, your family, like your inner core?
I feel like, at the base of it, communication is the biggest thing. Like, there's so many different social media platforms out there where, like, it's just so easy to communicate with, like, oh, what's this person doing? Does this, like, I have a group chat with my coworkers. Oh, who works today? Who's got to close today? Who's doing this? And, like, it's good to keep up with people, and, like, even outside of, like, close friends and that, like, relatives even. Like, I don't use social media so much personally myself for talking to relatives, but I know it is like a way to keep up with family and this, that, and so else, and that good stuff. What about you, SE Rocks? I've said your name like 6 times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Thanks for getting it right this time, Xander. I can agree with you on the fact that it's nice to be able, just pop open a message or whatever if you have a group chat or, you're talking. It has definitely made things easier to communicate with certain people, like people you may not have communicated with, family that's further away, friends. I can't remember how long ago I got on the Facebooks. I think it was 2009 maybe, and I remember having like 2 people, and I hated Facebook. Like I was MySpace till death, man.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember why I ended up getting Facebook, and I got it and started with like 5 family members or whatever, and it grew. But it made it so I connected with people that I otherwise wouldn't talk to now. Like a lot of people from school, I had a very small, you can't even call it a circle, I would say like a noodle line of friends. And it was nice to get back in contact with them because I know without social media I wouldn't have. And a couple of those have become a couple of my best friends to this day. So it was good in that aspect. But we can get into the negatives. I'm sure I'm going to be like the devil's advocate on this podcast, which, me, Mr. Positivity, going to be hard to believe that I'll be negative. But I see where you're coming from, though. I don't really use it as much as for work like you do. Like you have like you work for a big place with a lot of coworkers. So yeah, I can see that would be nice to, who's working today? Can you cover my shift or whatever? So I bet it definitely helpful that way.
Oh yeah. I like using Facebook Messenger to find out when we're all going to get on Fortnite.
Yeah, like it's helpful in some aspects for sure.
Because that's all I use Facebook Messenger for. Fortnite? Ooh, question mark. Let's go.
Oh, it is not. Don't even.
Well, if I'm talking to other people, it's like Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat. Yeah, we'll get into that too.
What what accounts, I guess, like with all the different social medias and stuff out there, how many different like accounts do you have? Like obviously Facebook.
Yeah, and I was off Facebook for a long time, almost 3 months, a little over 3 months. I think I took a break. I'm only back on it right now to promote, the SE Rocks page, the podcast, the YouTube videos, trying to grow the brand. That's the only reason I'm back. I guess I'll backtrack a little bit. It's also helpful for like events and stuff. Like Facebook is awesome, like at promoting like events in Michigan or whatever. Like that's how I knew what concerts were coming, where, or if a wrestling show was going to be around. So being away for that 3 months, I think that's the thing I missed the most about Facebook, was not knowing. Like I'm going to miss Tom Segura being in Michigan because I wasn't on Facebook and missed the pre-sale for the tickets. So that's like a bummer. So I missed that, from being away from Facebook. But to answer your question, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I do not have Twitter. That's actually on my notes. I don't use Twitter, and I will never use Twitter. I don't know why.
You're not
I
missing
just,
much.
I didn't figure I was. I for a little while I was gonna start an SE Rocks Twitter because I thought maybe I'd be able to get retweets and grow the brand or something. But it's not my thing. But I do have the Snapchats. I have Instagram. And I think that's it. I don't have like the TikTok and all that other shit.
No, I tried getting on TikTok, and it's not the same as Vine. You probably didn't have Vine.
I had Vine.
Oh,
I'm not a fucking boomer, dude.
I miss Vine. I tried getting on TikTok, and it's not the same. I don't know.
What's different about it? Like the way I look at it, it sounds like it's the same thing as Vine.
I guess in a sense, like parts of it are the same. Like I think, as far as I know, TikTok doesn't have video limits as far as what you can create.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of what's like popular on TikTok, and I could totally be wrong because I don't use it, I don't know, is like people will be like voice dubbing over other things.
Right.
Or there'll be like a music playing and it'll be like Pearson like doing something to that song, or if it's something from a TV show, they'll like dub over it. Whereas I feel like with Vine, you only had 7 seconds.
Right.
And like you had precious time to create something funny, and like it was a lot. I feel like it was a lot of original stuff. I mean, there's probably still original stuff on TikTok, but I don't know. If I use TikTok more, I might be able to compare it better.
Yeah, don't use it more, dude. You don't need to be on your phone any more than you are.
I know, right, any more than I already am with my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. And
yeah, see, you
Reddit and
oh, jeez. I'm what, about 13 years older than you, I think. So there's an age gap. I'm not a boomer, so I get the there's people my age that don't understand technology. They don't know how to do things on a computer, and that stuff they'll come to me and ask me. So like I'm not completely computer stupid or anything. It's just seeing how consumed people's lives have become with getting on Facebook every 2 seconds, and I am not perfect at all. I fell into that same circle of just checking Facebook, close Facebook, open Instagram, close Instagram. Oh, what's on Facebook now? Like, it totally consumes you, and I couldn't do it anymore because Facebook is a cesspool of negativity. And I'm part of the culture. Like I was part of the problem. Like I posted my issues, which it's nice that Facebook's there for people like me who might not be able to have a friend over or whatever to voice my day. Like if I have a bad day, I'll go on Facebook and say, like fuck today. Today was bad. And it was nice for that, but like I think you were going to bring up fake news. Like fake news, Facebook doesn't control it at all. So you have people, sharing all this fake political BS, and just it is so negative. It was depressing. It weighed on me so much that I was like, okay, fuck this. At least on Instagram, like you get to see pictures of people's cats and dogs and their trips that you'll never get to go on, or like your pictures of your pizza and stuff like that.
My pizza pictures. I post lots of those. Yeah.
Cheese.
I will say, as far as Facebook goes with the fake news, they are getting better a little bit. I did see a little while ago there was a post that somebody on my wall had shared, and on the mobile app, like right underneath the article, like Facebook popped up a thing that said like this article is fake news.
Right.
And like there was a separate page that explained like this isn't real. So like they are getting better at it, but like with the amount of widespread, like if one person shares it, everyone else is gonna like, pick up on it, and then it's gonna get widespread to like other news articles are gonna be posted about the same thing, and it's really hard to combat all of it. But like, they're trying, but it's still rough.
Well, Zuckerberg really shot himself in the foot too when he had to go in front of Congress and basically said they weren't gonna do anything. I mean, that was totally a bad PR move, but. Like you said, it's impossible. Like if I was to type up something fake and make it look real and shared it, like right now, it could go viral and people are going to believe it because, well, it's on the internet and it looks legit. So it's not hard to. People are gullible. I mean, basically, they're going to, especially if it's something they want to believe. Like if, say, it's a political candidate attacking another political candidate, if it's somebody they don't like, they're gonna share it because they don't like that person. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It just solidifies their thoughts on that person, so they're going to share it.
So they're reading what they want to read, and they're like, "Yep, that's it. This is the truth." And not
And
going
that's
to believe anything else.
yeah, and that's another thing that like is a negative I think about not just social media but the internet as a whole is we're becoming so dumbed down because it's so easy to find information now. And I'm totally you good?
Yeah, the phone's ringing in the
Okay.
background. It's
Okay.
distracting me.
Yeah, it is. So like you can just Google, like if you think of something like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna Google this. So it takes you 2 seconds to find all this information as opposed to, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago where you would have to, ask around, interact with people, look at a book. I mean, God forbid you pick up a book and try to look up a new word to learn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm guilty of that too. There's times where I can't think of something, which is, I think, part of the problem that social media has caused. Like I said, is dumbing us down, me included. I can't think of a word. I know it, like it's in my head. I can see it, but I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to like Google, the meaning, and then it'll bring up the word. Like, yes, I should know that. Why do I have to look it up?
It's so convenient now.
It is.
Even like back in the day with like phone numbers, like you had to remember everybody's phone number.
Right.
Now you got your address book. You just tap on their name. I don't even know half the people that text phone numbers, but their name's there. And that's
exactly.
That's who I'm talking
Dude,
to,
I don't know anybody's number. Like if I lost my phone, like I'm in an accident, lose my phone, and like, well, who do we call? I have nobody's fucking number. I know
my house number, and that
yeah, it's
call myself,
crazy.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I remember my address from like you learn that when you're like 10 or whatever, so it's a good thing my address hasn't changed or I'd be screwed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this, I guess it kind of is deterring from fake news, but like satire news. Like,
okay.
I remember back then, growing up, like the Onion was like huge, and like I think people obviously understood that it wasn't real.
But there's some people that didn't.
Like,
yeah.
And like kayfabe news. For wrestling?
Yeah, for wrestling. And kayfabe, like, they both have their place. They're both like Mad Magazine, but for like the internet. I mean, they're made, satire. They want to make you laugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's some funny stuff on there.
Oh yeah, in both of them, the Onion and kayfabe for sure. But like I said, you have people who believe that shit, and then they, hi Xander's mom, and then. They share it, and people call them out like, dude, this is from the Onion, it's not real. So
and then you're like, oh, I see that.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, you mean that
the article or?
Giant worms aren't taking over the White House? What are you talking about? This isn't true. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, it's one of those things too where in that instance, like when you read the headline but you don't click on the article and actually read the article.
Yes.
Or like notice who the article is by. When you see the headline, you're like, yep, that's a headline, share it.
Yep, and that comes with like local media outlets too that have Facebook pages. You'll see like they'll have an eye-grabbing headline and people just share it and then put their opinion, but without reading the actual article, which might actually contradict what the headline says. And they do that, to get people to share it. And it's like, dude, take 2 seconds and read the article. It's not that hard to read.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, dude.
Oh, no,
I was just gonna go with the because we were talking about like the benefits. I was bringing up how it helps you keep up to date with events like because seriously, without Facebook, it's hard to know what's going on in your area, like all of Michigan. Like if you don't get on Google and okay, what's going on in Michigan for comedy shows, which is what I did to find out Tom Segura was coming. You're not going to know anything. So Facebook is really helpful in that aspect. It's helpful with like promotion, like advertising. Businesses can use Facebook for advertising. They can boost their pages and everything. It's gotten Blank Canvas Entertainment on the YouTube. It's gotten us, I think, 3 more subscribers since the last thing.
That's something, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely beneficial. It has its benefits, but I personally feel like as a culture, it has definitely been a negative overall for everything, like family friendships, just and I understand like it's good for reconnecting, but it's hard for people to not text but message or whatever. Like you can't get somebody's tone when they're talking. So, you're messaging, say you're messaging, me and you are messaging or whatever, and I'm having a bad day, and like I one word you or something, which I absolutely hate when people one word me.
Oh my God, the K. Oh.
Yes, I know.
When you get a K, like
this
oh my God.
This is one that doesn't, like, a lot of people don't get, but like I hate when people use a period at the end of their text, unless it's more than one sentence. If you say like, if I ask you, okay, dude, when are you going to be here? And you're like, I'll be there soon. If you put a period at the end of that, I'm instantly irate. Just because it's like so just like final, like I'll be there soon. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's hard to tell for sure when you're just typing it and reading
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
'cause then that's up to your own imagination of, but like when you see that
Exactly.
period or like the K thing, it's like there's a connotation attached to that.
Yes.
Like it's not a positive. Like I always have to end half of my texts with an LOL, or else I sound like I'm being a dick when I'm
Yes.
responding.
Yes. I leave out the LOL, so I always sound like a dick, as you say. But
Fair enough,
I don't
LOL.
I don't always be. Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. LOL. I don't always mean to be a dick, just sometimes. But like, when you can't see somebody and you're not communicating like that, you're losing that interaction of being social. So I think Facebook has taken that away from us. And it's there's so many negatives and positives. Like you can go down the avenue. Okay, like I personally have very bad social anxiety, so I'm not good at face-to-face interactions with more than like one or two people that I know. But if you put me in a group chat or whatever and we're discussing things, I'm fine. So
I hate talking on the phone.
Oh, dude, I do too. Oh, I can't. It's so bad.
Like, oh, phone interview? Oh, like we have to talk on the phone? Like,
Yes.
why?
And I think it's partly I'm self-conscious about my voice, which this podcast has actually helped me quite a bit with that. And it's just like I feel like when I'm on the phone, I sound really monotone and like I'm just disinterested. So I'm like, I don't know how to convey that to the person. Like, hey, I'm interested in what you're saying and I'm listening, but I just don't like being on the phone.
Right. I hate also like hearing like in a recording even like when I hear my voice back, I'm like, oh God, do I sound like that?
Oh, really? So you don't like your podcast voice?
I mean, like I'm definitely working on it. I'm getting more comfortable with it. But like even when I go back to like older stuff, if I watch like an old video, I'm like, wow,
Right.
I'm weird.
Yeah.
But
And that's how
yeah. The more we do it, it's getting better for sure.
Yeah, and I've had a few people say that they like my voice. It's a soothing, it helps them get through. So, but when I go back and listen to like the first couple of shows I commentated for NWAAE, I hate my voice. It's the same voice that I have now, but like I've developed, the personality, the
confidence, the
yeah, the
personality,
confidence,
yeah,
the
absolutely.
charisma, and I didn't have that back then because I was just, I was new and didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Let's see. I guess yeah. As far as communication now, sorry, I'm trying to find a different point on here. I got a list of notes here.
Good job, Xander.
Yeah, I got a notes this time. As far as like social media and texting goes, for communication, how we were talking about, like we can just text people, or we can text each other back and forth, as opposed to like back then you either had to call them on the phone,
Yeah.
or like sending letters in the mail. Like I used to have a pen pal, like years and years and years ago. Like I had one person that we would like send like
Yeah.
letters in the mail back and forth to talk to each other because we didn't have phone numbers, but I had his address so I could send him a letter in the mail. Whereas now it's, oh yeah, let's just text, or I'll add the guy on Facebook or something.
Right. And I think that would be something cool to still do.
Oh, yeah.
Because like if I get a letter in the mail, a handwritten letter from someone, it's exciting. Like it shouldn't be, but it is. Like, oh man, somebody took the time to like write me a letter. That's cool.
I'll have to write you a letter sometime.
Yeah. Yeah. Cuz I mean, and seriously though, cuz it's like somebody took the time to sit down with a pen and a paper and to write out a letter to, they had to seal the envelope and they had to get the stamp and put it, it was a whole process, as opposed to like I pick up my phone and say, hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
Fortnite question mark?
Yeah. So
Ready
you
up.
don't, it's impersonal. It's convenient, but it's impersonal, like the text message and, the messenger or whatever. But it's definitely made things easier for everybody. Like,
Oh yeah, my handwriting has declined a little bit.
and so has mine. I never had the best penmanship, and I was because our phone lines were down today at work, so I had to do like all my paperwork by hand.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it was bad. I'm like, oh my god. So it perfect day for it to happen though, because then I could talk about how bad my penmanship has gotten because
you
of
go, yeah.
how easy it is to type on a keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
I was going to, but I thought you were too. So go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna. Hold on. Oh yeah. So like, because I feel like so when I grew up, we had a computer ever since I think I was like 5, 6 maybe. So like, I feel like as far as social media goes and interacting with the internet, it's pretty much been a good majority of my life.
Right.
I know, like, you being just a couple years older than I am.
Just a couple.
you've had a life like before the internet and before
Right.
smartphones and
Dude, you just made me sound so old.
well, like not to say like
No, I
mean,
gotcha.
social media and stuff isn't that old. Like I didn't actually have a smartphone until high school, so like elementary and middle school, like I still went outside and hung out with friends at the playground and
Right.
we jumped on my trampoline in the backyard and played capture the flag and we went outside and
Yeah, I had a flip phone until like, gosh, I want to say, I don't know, 32. I stuck with a flip phone for a long time, dude. I loved my flip phone. I dropped that thing in the toilet and it still worked. It was great.
yeah, my mom finally just got an iPhone a couple years ago and she still doesn't. I mean, she's figuring it out, but like she's not tech savvy like someone such as myself. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but
Yeah, well, when you're on it 9 hours a day, dude, you can learn it pretty well.
But it's going off of that too. Like it drives me nuts to see like when parents will come in and shop at the store I work at, and like they have like a 3-year-old kid sitting in the shopping cart glued to like
Oh, yeah, dude.
a phone or an iPad, whether it's the mom's phone or if, hey, this 3-year-old kid has a smartphone already. Like
Oh, yeah.
it drives me nuts. Like I mean, because like when I was that age, I didn't have a smartphone. It's like maybe it's me being jealous because like I have it now, so like I'm used to it now. But like seeing
It's-
a little kid, it drives me nuts. Like why does that 3-year-old kid need an iPad right now?
Yeah,
Tell him to go outside and play on the playground or something. But I don't know.
I totally agree. Like seeing kids now with, and it's not. I don't care that they have a better phone than me or whatever. It's like, why do they need that? I think I mentioned it on a podcast before. Like working where I work, I constantly see kids with their face glued to their phone. Walking around, almost running into each other, just all the time on their phone, not able to learn what they need to learn because they have to get in between classes so they can send that snap or that text message or whatever. And it makes everybody's job more difficult in that setting because you don't have the kids' attention, and attention spans are so small nowadays.
Oh my God, mine is terrible.
Yes, it is. Yours is very bad. And it's partly because of social media, because something has to be going on all the time. Just bam, 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 bam. Whoops, I hit my mic. And it's like that in that setting too. So you're making everybody's jobs more difficult. And why does a 13-year-old need Facebook? You
Right.
see your friends every single day at school.
Yeah, I mean, I like to have it now, but it's because I know the people already. So I see them on a day-to-day basis already, and then it's just kind of a continuation of that same conversation, I guess.
I think we become oversaturated at that point, though. Like, if you're seeing them every day, I mean, you're gonna get sick of each other. Even if
Yeah.
you don't say it, you're gonna. And it's not the way to have a healthy relationship, I don't think.
No.
With anybody. I'm not talking like, in love or anything, but like any kind of friendship, to see each other every day and then get home and you're still, and it's great, but you're gonna get burnt out at some point and you're just gonna be like, oh my God, I can't deal with this person anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And seeing all the kids, and I had an issue with my personal child. I didn't want them to have a Facebook or anything until I felt they were more than capable of handling themselves in a responsible manner and continuing their schoolwork and keeping up on their sports and everything. And although I do feel like they're like that now, they had a Facebook and I didn't know about it.
Oh.
And they said they had to have it so they could sign up for one of the wrestling message boards or whatever. Like, okay, I get it. But there was a lack of communication between the other parent and I. So that really frustrated me because
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel he needs that. I don't like the fact he has a Snapchat because Snapchat can get you in trouble. And if you don't understand what you're doing at that age, you can get in trouble. I've seen it happen before. You definitely have to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say, dude?
I was thinking, like, when you were talking about the school thing, like, it'd be interesting to see, like, a study done on, like, it'd be hard to do it now, because, like, you'd have to somehow go back and get records from before, but, like, seeing how social media, like, affects students' performance and stuff.
Right, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would love to see something like that.
To see, like, back then in high school, like, we'd pass notes back and forth or whatever, and that
Yeah.
was about the extent of it, as to where now, like, you glue yourself to your phone and, like, you lose focus on everything else, and, like, someone will say something to me and I'm on my phone and I don't hear what they're saying, even though they're right next to me,
Yes.
because I'm not
Oh my
focused
God,
on
dude.
it, and it's
Yeah.
bad.
Like, I don't know the exact moment, But I never used to be like that. I know you technically can't do two things at once or whatever, your brain doesn't allow it, but I used to be able to like read on my phone or like read somebody's message or whatever and pay attention to what was going on around me. And 3 or 4 years ago, I was sitting on the couch, and I'm reading a text or whatever, and my child's talking to me, and I'm not paying, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, what? He's like, I've been talking to you for like 5 minutes, and like at that moment, I was like, holy shit, dude, like, wow, it's sad because, and then you pay attention to it from that point on, and it's like, okay, I'm losing so much time and missing so many things around me because my face is glued to my phone. And as a parent, it's disheartening because I wanted to change it, like, oh man, I don't want to miss this, but then like, oh shoot, I got a text message, let me text, and then like look up and I missed something,
right?
And like you don't get that moment back. I know you don't have that experience yet, but at some point you will. And if you don't break that addiction you have on your phone, you're gonna miss so much. And it's not just like your child's life or whatever, like you're gonna miss, something's gonna happen family wise and you're gonna miss it, or we'll be at a big wrestling show or something and you're gonna look down at your phone and you're gonna miss a huge spot, and that's one moment you're never gonna get back.
Yeah,
and
I've definitely been there for sure on that.
Yeah,
where it's you miss that one thing and you can't just hit rewind on life and see
exactly.
It it's like that was it.
Yes.
So,
and that's like when you go to like concerts and stuff now. Like back in my day when we used to go to shows, we had disposable cameras. You know what I mean? Like
I had one of those.
Snapping pictures with disposable cameras, but you didn't have your camera right in front of your face the whole show. Why are you paying $50 to go see this musician to watch it through your phone? Just stay at home and watch YouTube videos.
I'm guilty of doing that too.
And dude, I am too. Like I said in the beginning, I am totally guilty of everything I am speaking. Like it's from experience. Like I went to Self-Help Fest a couple years ago, and it was the first time I had seen A Day to Remember in, I don't know, 4 years or something. And I was more wanting to get good video of the mosh pit I was in, or get a good video of the lead singer, like pointing at me or whatever, than I was of enjoying the experience. And that's what made me love music, was that experience of being in the pit and looking at people around you and just seeing how good of a time they were having. And when you're looking through your phone, man, you miss that. You don't get that experience. You don't have that connection with everybody around you. And that's like concerts were my thing, man. That's where I felt comfortable. Like I didn't have social anxiety when I was at a concert, because I would look around and I'd see, these punk kids like me, or these 20-year-old somethings or whatever that were just, they were there to have a good time and let loose. And when you were there, you just didn't care about what was going on around you. And it feels like that's gone now. You don't have that feeling of that connection because everybody's on their phone. You can't bump into somebody and be like, hey man, what's going on? Where are you from? Spark up a conversation, which in normal life you might not be able to do. Like I wouldn't be able to just walk down the street and say, hey, how are you doing? What's going on with you? But at a concert, I totally could.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I know I haven't been to a show where they've done it yet, but I know a lot of like musicians and stuff nowadays, they have like a no phone rule at the show.
Oh, comedians definitely
do.
Dude. When I went to see Bill Burr 2 years ago, before the show even started, I was on my phone and they're like, hey, you put that away before it starts or you'll get kicked out.
Right.
And I totally understand it.
That lady at the All Out show.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
Usher at the All Out show trying to do that. But it's definitely, because if you aren't on your phone, you'll definitely enjoy the experience more.
Yes.
In the moment, but I always do feel like too, like having those videos on my phone from like the concert that I went to, like being able to look back and watch it again, and like remember the fun time.
But you would remember that though if you were paying attention and enjoying it. That it's two different kinds of remember. Like if you have a video, you'll remember watching it on the video. But if you were connecting with, that singer, like you went and seen Ghost or whatever, like say you make eye contact with him, he might not be looking at you or whatever, but you think he's looking at you. So you made that connection. That's going to be a memory you have.
Yeah, he looked at me at one point. I swear he pointed at me, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's my guy!" Like
that's what I'm saying, dude. Like
he was like 10 feet away from me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, there he is, right there."
Yeah, I went to so many shows where like it was so intimate. Like I remember Goldfinger was playing, and the lead singer's like, "Okay, fuckers, put your hands up." So we all put our hands up, and he's walking across our hands. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like the lead singer of Goldfinger is like standing on my hand. That wouldn't have happened if I was on my phone.
He'll stand on your phone.
Yeah,
phone in
right.
your
Like,
palm.
oh, look, I got a picture of the bottom of his foot, but
There you go. Yeah, a video of him walking across.
right.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a change in. I feel like I definitely need a detox at some point with it because I know you. Yeah, you said what, Facebook away for what, 3 months? You said
3 months, yeah.
I
And
did
I could do without it. Like
Oh, yeah.
I if it wasn't for wanting to promote my brand, I wouldn't need it anymore. Like I think after it took 2 weeks. It's like having withdrawals, dude. It's an addiction.
Yeah, it definitely is. I feel it too. I did in high school, in college, for one of my classes. I don't even remember which class it was, but we had to do like no social media for 3 days, and like that was it, 3 days, and write a paper on it. And it was like I was okay after like the third day, but as soon as I went back and I had like 99 some odd notifications. I was like, oh my god, like.
Yeah, but like, how important was it? How important is the 9 hours you're spending on your phone? Like those notifications. What out of those notifications was so important that you would have missed them had you not went back?
Like at least now, I feel like my Facebook is just kind of shit posting memes.
Yeah.
So like really, if I don't have Facebook, I'm just missing out on memes, and that's about it. So I feel like I could do it. It would just be like willing myself to like, all right, now is the day that I'm gonna unplug, and
I'll totally be your motivation, dude. I'll run you into the ground if you need me to, because like we were talking the other day when we brought up this topic, and we were looking at each other's, or bringing up our screen time, and when you showed me yours, dude, I was astounded.
and I don't even realize it either until I look at it.
That's what's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You don't even realize you're on your phone that much. Like I'm saying 9 hours, it's not an exaggeration out there, guys. His thing was 9 hours on your. That's more than a work day.
Yeah. Today I'm at 6. So that's a step in the right direction, right?
No, it's not.
That's 3 hours less than.
But
no,
that's 6 hours of your day you could be getting motivated to do your graphics, dude. That's 6 hours out of the day you could shovel snow. You could, I don't know, you could do something with that 6 hours of your day. Just seriously though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not taking shots at you, but think of how much you could do in that time.
I could go outside and.
Yes, you could do
Yeah.
anything. Clean your bedroom. I don't know. There's just
That
so
I do
many,
need to do also.
so many things you could do. And like I said, I'm guilty of it too. Not to your extent, but like I was actually impressed because when I brought up my Instagram time, it was only 15 minutes for the week, and I thought I was on my phone like a lot, like because I am on Instagram, trying to promote my stuff, or trying to, like, I check out indie wrestlers stuff too, but I expected mine to be a lot more. And I know had I still been on Facebook like I was, I'll guarantee it was probably 2 or 3 hours a day. Because like I said, I would open it and I would close it. And I would open it and I would close it. Like, oh man, what am I missing? I'm not fucking missing anything, but my brain is wired now to make me feel like I am.
I do this really stupid thing, and it's only Instagram, and I don't understand why it is. But I'll be on Instagram, I'll scroll, I'll close Instagram, and the second I close Instagram, instead of clicking on anything else, I click Instagram again.
Dude,
for some weird reason, and
it's
it's only Instagram. It's never Facebook. I never close Facebook, open Facebook. It's always Instagram, and I don't understand why I do that. But it's weird.
It's an addiction, dude. Your brain, like, I'm not even kidding. A couple years ago, I had to go to some training for the detention center I worked at, and it was talking about how it was like trauma and withdrawal based like training, and how you can rewire your brain no matter what age you are if you take the right steps to do it. Because people with trauma or addictions, they wire their brains to, they do this so it becomes a constant thing. So you doing that is your brain, whether you even know you're doing it or not, your brain is wired that way. So you have to take strides to try to not do that. Like, instead of opening Instagram or whatever, come up with like a strategy inside your head. Like, okay, instead of opening Instagram, I'm going to draw a picture of SpongeBob on a piece of paper, dude. Like, anything you can do to not open Instagram, do that every time, and it's going to rewire your brain to be like, okay, I don't need this anymore. I can do graphics. I can open this up. I can draw. Like, you have to rewire your brain to not constantly need that addiction.
It's definitely something I need to work on. That's going to be did we say that was going to be my 2020 goal the last podcast we did or something?
I don't.
We did something.
Do you remember what I said about stupid New Year's goals though. You don't have to pick a day to do it. You just start now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start now, and I'm gonna close Facebook, and I'm gonna not look at it, and I'm totally gonna go look at Facebook.
Yeah, because speaking of right now, we were playing Fortnite. Was it last night we were playing together?
I think
we got to top 2. I died. Dreasaurus died. It was up to you. Dude had no life meter, and when it showed me your guy, you're staring at the freaking wall, and I'm like,
I wasn't looking at the guy, and I'm like, I don't see the guy that just killed you.
I swear to God, in my head, I thought he's on his phone right now, not paying attention, and if we lose, I was like, oh no, you can't stay off your phone for 5 minutes so we can win.
No, I was definitely in the Fortnite mode at that
Okay,
time.
so
I usually
you
don't
just
glance at
sucked?
my phone until I'm already dead or between matches or whatever. But
Okay.
when I get into Fortnite, I just need to like practice my coordination on that. Like when I'm switched to build mode and then I go try to shoot, but I'm still in build mode and I accidentally build a wall when I could just take a shot. And
Yeah, it's hard. I totally.
then he goes
understand.
around me, and it's a work in progress. Practicing building and then switching and loading out and remembering to reload my weapons and switch my material and.
Well,
It's
see,
so
there you
much.
go. Instead of getting on your phone, like practice Fortnite, dude. Get on creative mode and learn how to build and spin and all that cool stuff.
Oh, there you
'Cause
go.
at least
I
that
just
way
need to
you're
play
like-
with all bots more often. Like that first game when Season 2 launched. Oh my God, when Season 2 launched or
Okay, this isn't
whatever.
Fortnite podcast.
This is not. I know, but like
That's
just-
we kind of veered off, but
we did veer off. Like that first game with all bots and I actually won was like the most satisfying moment of my life. I was like, oh my God, I won a game of Fortnite, and then I found out it was just bots, and my heart was just wrenched from my chest. I'm like, no, I'm actually not good at Fortnite. Damn it.
I still suck. They just threw
I
me a bone.
still suck. Yeah. Like there needs to be like an all bot mode. That'd be cool.
Yeah, right.
Like in creative mode or something. Just like
Yeah, okay. no more
practice your
Fortnite.
headshots.
Okay.
Speaking of Fortnite,
Yeah,
social media.
No, yeah, social media and Fortnite. So, like, I also social media, how it's made things more accessible. Like, how I guess it kind of goes back to the events and promotion thing. Like indie wrestling right now is so much more accessible to everyone than it used to be. I think that's why there's such a boom in indie wrestling, is because
yeah.
you can go on YouTube and watch, AEW Dark, or you can watch, IEW Gladiators, or you can watch PPW Pro. You have so much access to all these things that without YouTube and social media you wouldn't have.
Oh yeah, back then if it wasn't on TV, you didn't know about it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if it wasn't WWE on TV or WCW, it was like there was no indie scene because there was no access to like promoting.
Yeah, and it's great
Unless
for
you
the
went
indie
door to
wrestlers
door
to
and
be
put
able to.
stuff on doors and stuff.
Yeah, right. Like when I was with the NWAE, we had to flyer, dude. Like
Yeah.
they still flyer nowadays, but it was so much more work back then, because we went car to car, we went to shows way downstate to flyer, and now you can just post a thing on Facebook, and there you go, bam.
Yeah, and the Facebook algorithm too has it built in where like you can give Facebook your money,
Right.
And they will go through and everyone that likes WWE on Facebook or whatever, they will then see in your area, oh, there's this other show, and
Yep.
it's so easy for you to be able to do that through Facebook, and it's nice, but yeah.
Yeah, and like I've said, Facebook has its advantages, and YouTube has its. They all have their advantages, but as far as being able to promote, you see a lot of indie wrestlers, so many indie wrestlers now, especially on I when I finally reactivated my Facebook, my friends you might know, dude, they're all indie wrestlers, and we all have 35 people in common or whatever, so you can connect with people, you can promote yourself. I know Jacob Braun actually just got a little deal with well, he didn't, all indie wrestlers did, so it's good, a deal with PWTs, Pro Wrestling Tees, and he has his tees up on Pro Wrestling, and he can promote that now, hey, check it out guys, my shirts are on Pro Wrestling Tees, so somebody in Florida that may have seen a Jacob Braun match can now get his merch. So that's great, that expansion, allowing these indie guys to reach out of their local area is great. So it's definitely good for promotion like that. And bands, I have come across so many bands that are now my favorite bands via social media, not just local bands either. I remember on MySpace, when NWAAE was a branch of Absolute Entertainment, and we booked bands and stuff too, and I came across Versus the Ocean, who was a great Michigan band. If you guys haven't checked them out and you like metalcore kind of poppy stuff, check out Versus the Ocean. they broke up quite a few years ago, but like I found them on MySpace, and we brought them in to play like our after show party or whatever for our wrestling
That's
show.
cool. Yeah.
And I always checked them out. I think they were from Petoskey or somewhere in that, I don't know. And then they would play Kalkaska all the time, so I would go to Kalkaska and check them out. I found No Bragging Rights, who is like one of my top 5 bands of all time. I found them just like you're on Facebook or MySpace. It was MySpace back in the day, and I don't even know I don't remember how I found the bands. Like maybe I was just like you search metalcore or something. I don't know, but it's definitely great to like find new things. You're finding new bands. You're finding new movies that you might not have heard about. You know, so it has its advantages in like being able to expand your horizons, I guess.
I did hit up Jacob Braun as soon as I found out he was on Pro Wrestling Tees. I asked him for a coupon code.
Are you serious?
I was like, hey, you got any of them coupon codes? And he's like, no, they're not doing any sales on the website. And I'm like, oh, man.
You got any of them coupon codes? Come on, man. Hook a brother up.
I do miss MySpace and, like, the creativity you used to have
Yes.
on MySpace.
Yes.
Like, Facebook, you go on and everybody's profile is the same. Like, you
Yep.
got a profile picture, you got a banner picture, and everybody's feed is white and blue. Or I think you got the dark mode thing now, which I don't have yet, which, like, that's exciting. But, like, MySpace used to be able to, like, you could go in and if you knew how to code, you could like build your own profile however you wanted, and it was kind of like your own little website.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
You
Like
could
I had to
here's
like
my music playlist. Here's my. You could make your mouse look like something else weird floating around on the screen, and your background.
Yeah, I never did that, but like I made my background different, and like like being able to change your friends was like somebody
your top
pisses you
friends.
off, and you're like, you know what, you're out of my top 10, motherfucker.
Oh, I remember. Oh my god, I was so salty if I wasn't in someone's top list.
Right?
I was like, you are my number 1 friend in my top 8, and I'm not even in your top 12. Like,
Yeah.
what the? Like, come on now.
Right?
Like, I don't need to be your number 1, but you're my number 1. At least put me somewhere in the top 10. Like, I don't care. But
I remember going back. It was I don't know 6 or 7 months ago because like I don't once a year or something I'll go back and check out MySpace and I go back and I see who my top 8 were and I'm like, okay, don't talk to you anymore. Don't talk to you anymore. Your family don't talk to you any like probably 6 out of my 8 I don't even talk to anymore. So it's just funny going back.
I keep trying to get into my MySpace again because a couple of years ago when like they changed the format completely and like
Yeah.
Tom sold MySpace and everything, I went in and I upgraded my profile and everything. But now I swear I remember the password, and every time I type it in it says it's wrong, so then I go forget password, but I don't have access to that email address anymore.
Oh yeah, I have to go in and change.
So then I
my
go
thing
into my
every time.
email and I say I forgot my email password and there's no way for them to recover it. It's
Right.
like,
It sucks. Like I don't know when they like erased all the stuff that you had archived, but like I don't know if I told this story before. I think I told it on one of the Rocks Relics or Rocks Reviews. But back on MySpace, they used to like it was easy for like celebrities and stuff, which this will be like a segue to my next topic here, to do like their polls and stuff because Andre Gower, the guy who played Sean in the Monster Squad, which is one of my favorite movies, which we will get into in a podcast sometime in the future. He was up. It was like some horror icon like challenge thing that some website was doing. So he was promoting it on his MySpace page, and he ended up being up against Robert. Is it Pattinson from Twilight? I don't know how to say his last name.
Pattinson, something like that.
Yeah. He was up against him, and he thought for sure he was going to lose. You know, he's like, "Hey, I'm probably not going to win." But I shared the shit out of that. Like, I shared it so much, and he ended up beating him. And then like he went on to the next round, and I don't know he beat whoever. He ended up taking. And this is a dude from like I think Monster Squad was put out in what 87 or 88. I'd have to check. Like so long ago, and he's beating these people who are like fresh in people's minds. So he was like really thankful, and he like thanked me on his MySpace post. He's like, "Hey," and like this is a dude that like I've loved this movie since I was a kid, so it was huge to me. I'm like, oh man, this guy like gave me a shout out. You know, this is super cool. So I slid into his DMs, as they say, not thinking I'd get a reply. You know, just like, hey, thanks for giving me some credit for promoting you and your stuff. And he emailed me back. And he's like, no, I appreciate all my fans. I'm not big into movies or anything anymore. So, the fact that you guys remember and, just went on about how much he appreciated the fact that the fans still cared. So we emailed back and forth like 4 or 5 times. So I archived it. And then like when I went back in like a year or two ago, the archives were erased. So like I don't have that memory and it pisses me off so bad.
Mm-hmm. In the moment, it was so great, but that sucks that it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just
dang MySpace.
Yeah, stupid MySpace. But Hotmail did it too because playing off of that topic, it was right after I got divorced, I believe. I emailed the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jim Hellwig, and I don't remember what I emailed him. I remember I was on his website. I was checking out his motivational videos or whatever. This was a long time ago, and emailed him, and I got an email back, and it was and it was I think it was just thanks for emailing me, blah 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 blah. But like as Ultimate Warrior is my all-time favorite wrestler, like transcended everything in the wrestling world to me, and the fact that he took time to like it was like 2 sentences, dude. But it didn't matter. It was like holy shit, he took the time out. So I archived that shit, right? Gone. Hotmail deleted all the archives.
Oh man.
Yeah, so like people think I'm shit talking, but I swear to God, he emailed me back. It's true.
They're like, show me the receipts, and like I can't.
Yeah.
They're gone.
It's not. Well, I had a bunch of emails from like bands too, because I have a section in my Hotmail. Like the folder is still there, which is weird. Like it says bands email, it says Jim Hellwig email, but they're all gone. Like everything in there's
weird, yeah.
empty. Because I used to have emails from like when I would talk to the Canadian pop punk band Gob, and like Swing Set Hands, like a whole bunch of bands from back in the day. I would email back and forth, which was cool.
I think the closest band interaction I had, I think I tweeted at Alter Bridge one time.
Sweet.
I was like, because I wanted to see one of their shows, and like they were just in Michigan twice. They just had 2 shows. They did a Detroit and a Grand Rapids show within like a month of each other, and I didn't go see them. But like a couple years ago, I was like, oh man, has Alter Bridge ever toured in Michigan? Because like I feel like I never see any dates, blah blah blah. And they were like, oh yeah, we come here all the time. And I'm like,
nice. And
I was like, oh my god, they responded. I like screenshot that. I was like, yes,
right.
Like I'm talking to a real famous person right now.
I've met many bands, but that would be for another podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
But we can what was I going to segue into? I forgot.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Social media. You were talking. It'll segue into like celebrity social media. What do you feel about celebrities being so vocal on social media? I mean, do you care either way?
I feel like I don't keep up with it that much. I mean, I don't keep up with the Kardashians, if you want to say that. But like I don't know. I feel like as far as my following on social media goes, I just kind of look at memes and stuff. I don't really keep up with too many celebrity news. I remember when I was younger, with the days of MySpace, before
I was younger,
like,
dude. You're 25. Shut up.
Okay, a couple years ago, 5 or 6
yeah,
years ago.
exactly.
Well, no, like when I didn't realize that like people made fake profiles for people.
Right.
Like on MySpace, I would like add all of these professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
That I thought was like, oh shit, I got Batista on my friends list on Facebook, and I got such and such.
Batista's my
Randy
friend.
Orton, and I was like, back then I would like, oh yeah, it was so cool because I'm friends with all these wrestlers. I'm like,
right.
Oh yeah, but like now it's like, nope.
That was just Joe Blow from around the way creating a profile.
Oh yeah. And like sometimes you'll go back to MySpace now and you look at your friends list and you'll see like that name has been like uncovered as somebody else's name, and you're like, I'm friends with who? And it was like, oh, that used to be Batista. Like, wait a second,
right?
That's not Dave Batista. That's Phil from Oklahoma or something. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna once again backtrack a little bit because this is okay. So you say when you're on social media, you don't really do anything but like look at memes or whatever. How the hell are you spending 9 hours a day looking at memes, dude?
I don't know.
That's 9 hours.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's not that many memes out there.
You'd be surprised.
There are, but they're not good. There's like not 9 hours worth of good memes.
I honestly haven't. I need to go through. I wish there was an easier way to do it for Facebook, but like when I first made a Facebook and like you'd go through like your likes and interests, and there were so many pages that you would hit like.
Right.
And it'd be cool to like just go through and like wipe that clean.
Yeah.
Cause like I keep getting like I'll get a random post from this page that's like named something weird, and I'm like, why would I like that?
Right.
And like they post good memes, so like sometimes I'll still share their memes and stuff. But it's like,
right.
I don't know. I like memes.
Yeah, you do like memes. So you don't care either way about celebrities being vocal on social media.
I mean, I try like if there's something big and it goes around, I'll like, oh okay, that's a thing, but I don't like actively search for.
Right. But I mean, like, say somebody, because I'm gonna come up to the fact that the president social media thing in a second, but say, I can't think of who was it? Kathy Griffin. I don't know if you knew when she did the photo shoot with the bloody Donald Trump head, and it went viral.
Oh, so, I do remember seeing that.
Yeah. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you feel about celebrities like voicing not just their political opinions, but their opinions overall?
I feel like that's one of those things where it's like you're allowed to have your own opinion.
Yes,
for sure. Like if you don't like Donald Trump and you want to like post a edgy thing, like what Kathy Griffin did. Like,
Right.
I mean, like, that's her way of voicing her opinion, and like, obviously, not everyone's gonna agree with that opinion because
Yep.
this is 2020 and we're allowed to have our own opinions and we're allowed to disagree. But like, some people will like, because I think didn't she get like death threats for it? And
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that,
dude, it was
too?
bad.
And it's like, you may not agree with what she's doing, but like, she's allowed to have her own opinion. It's her social media. She's allowed to voice her opinion. But
Well, and then they're
like,
like, well, it's the
it's-
president, and you can't disgrace the president like that. And I understand where that side is coming from, and I personally thought it was very distasteful. It wasn't
Oh,
a
yeah.
funny joke. Kathy Griffin isn't funny anyway. She was just trying to get, she got what she wanted. She got that, that fire coming at her so she could boost her stock or whatever. But I totally agree. It's her social media. She can do what she wants to do, and I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with celebrities speaking their minds. Like, a lot of people are like, well, you're just shut up. Nobody cares what you think. Like, well, if you don't care what they think, then why open your mouth about what their opinion is? They're using
let
their
'em do their
platform to
thing,
voice their
yeah.
opinion, just like everybody is. If you post something on social media, it's there for everybody to see. So it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or not.
like, they just happen to have more following than I do.
Exactly. Their
Yeah.
stage is just bigger. So if you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't. Move on. Like, and that's my thing. If it's not affecting your life, why do you fucking care? And that
Oh, yeah.
I that goes with so many things with I could, like, that's a whole other podcast. Like, if it's not affecting your life, dude, it doesn't matter. Let her say what she wants to say. Let them do what they want to do. If it is not affecting your life, fucking live your own life and let them live theirs.
Now, if it gets us nuked by a foreign country because our president says something, then we can talk about it.
Okay, so let's segue into the president and his use of Twitter. I'll let you go first because I'll probably get hot on this one.
Oh no, that's all I was gonna say on that. Was like,
Oh,
he's
that's
gonna
all you're gonna
tweet
say?
something, and then we're gonna get like bombed because us as an entire nation are gonna get blown up because of one guy saying something stupid on the internet. Same
Okay.
thing. But it's,
Okay,
yeah,
here's the thing.
here it is. All right,
If
lay it out.
if and I'm gonna try to keep it, because at some point we're gonna have a political podcast and you are gonna have to say your piece whether you know what the fuck you're talking about or not. But
I do not, but yes, I don't
but
know what I'm talking about.
you
but
yeah, I mean, you have to have an opinion. But
Oh yeah.
if this was 4 years ago and President Obama, and here's my thing, I'll say right now, I did not agree with everything President Obama did. I did not agree with everything President Clinton did. I did not agree with everything President Bush did. I am not a sheep, okay? I have my own feelings on the government and everything, but if you allow your president to act the way that ours does now on Twitter, and you expect people, and because I don't want to offend anybody, you expect people to, I don't even know how to put it nicely. Like, he is, his behavior on Twitter is that of a 12-year-old who's just gotten their fucking ice cream taken away by their parents. He is a child on Twitter. He does not care what he says. And if you think it's okay for the president of the United States to behave that way, where everybody in the fucking world can see it, I don't know, dude. It's not okay.
Oh no, yeah.
The stuff he says is not okay. Constantly calling people names when you're the president of the United States is not okay. That is fucking bullying.
Oh yeah.
He is an online fucking bully, and as soon as somebody comes out and calls him out on it, he acts like a baby.
Oh yeah.
Like Sleepy Joe and Pocahontas and Crazy Bernie. Like, dude, you're not in fucking 4th grade.
Yeah.
You want me to respect you, then you act like a fucking respectable person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just
No, you're good. No, I feel it. Yeah.
It's
I
not
don't follow
okay,
him on
man.
Twitter, but
We
yeah.
are trying to teach our kids that bullying is not okay, that mental health awareness is a thing, and you have the president of the United States constantly bullying people. I don't give a shit if it's another country. I don't give a shit if it's a senator you don't agree with. That is not how you behave publicly. If you have an issue, you take it up with them personally. You do not blast it on social media. And that's
Even-
how Rox
yeah.
feels about that.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the thing too. Like, not even just how you're like, obviously the president for sure, but like internet trolls and stuff. Like when you can hide behind a screen and say stuff and like not necessarily feel the repercussions right away from what you're saying because you're hiding behind a screen.
Yes.
And like as opposed to like if you say something to someone's face, like it's a lot different because like a lot of people wouldn't say stuff to somebody's face when they could hide behind a wall and say it on a Facebook post or something.
Exactly. Or shooting somebody a message, a very passive aggressive message that you won't say it to anybody's face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let me go back to, it's not just Donald Trump either, okay? I kind of went off on a tangent right there because I feel that his behavior as the president, he should be held to a higher standard, and he is not being held to that standard. But in the same breath, I cannot ever pronounce her name, so I'm not going to say it, but she is like the liberal Democrat, what's her name? Cortez, or you know who I'm talking about. Maybe you don't because you don't do politics, but and here we go. If I wanted to get my phone and Google it, but you guys out there know who lives. You know who I'm talking about. The liberal Democrat, she's always on her Twitter too, blasting. Just she's super outspoken, and people are like, "Yeah, that's what we need." It's like, no, we don't. You're being the liberal Democrat version of Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. That is not what we need. We need somebody who can bring the parties together. We don't need to bash. Like somebody had said, it's more productive to build the bridge than to blow it up. And that's how I feel about the government. Like, you're blowing each other up instead of building the bridge. You're not bridging the gap, and that's what we need to do in this country.
Let's just all be friends.
And it's social media, like you said. It makes it so easy to hide behind your keyboard or behind your phone and say things that you wouldn't normally say. And that's something I try to pride myself in, is that if I'm gonna say something to you or about you to somebody, you can bet your sweet ass that it's something I'll say to your face, and I will say it to your face. Like,
oh yeah,
and it gets me in trouble. Like, if I have an issue with somebody, it doesn't matter if I'm at work or it doesn't matter. Like, if I have an issue and I feel like you said something or you did something, I'm gonna come to you and be like, hey, what's going on? What's up? Because either we're gonna fix it and squash it, or we're just never gonna talk again. Mm-hmm. But I'm always gonna let it be known that I know, and like I'm willing to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I always try to. Yeah, I hate having beef with people, and I'm such a nice person. I'm like, let's all be friends.
You're overly nice.
I know. I'm way too nice. Yeah.
You're scared to step on anybody's toes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You don't want
being friends with everybody. I don't want people mad.
And
at me.
that's great, dude. Like, you're a great person. That's a great quality to have. But you also need to be able to stand your ground. Like, you have to find that middle ground to where, like, if somebody's shitting on you, then you need to be able to be like, hey, dude, what's up? Okay, let's go ahead and let's not do this no more. Like, I'm not going to kiss your ass. You don't deserve to have your ass kissed. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
You got to, at some point, you'll find that middle ground, I hope.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah, we're hoping so.
One day at a time.
Yeah, one day keep on trekking on.
Detox myself from Facebook, and we'll go from there.
Yes, we are going to get that started, too. No lies, man. Seriously, okay.
Twitter's an easy one to get off of because I don't use Twitter that much. But yeah, it's Facebook and the memes is.
Okay, I got to keep going back to this 9 hours, dude, because I'm still fucking astonished. Like, it was like 2.5 hours on Snapchat. How do you spend 2.5 hours on fucking Snapchat? How?
I think because I would use Facebook. Wow, Snapchat for like messaging.
Oh, okay.
So it's not.
But why?
I don't
if you're
take
not
selfies for 2 hours. Like, no, that's weird.
If you're not doing some shady dealings, why do you have to have your messages deleted?
Well, my thing was at first because the people that I talked to, I just didn't have their phone numbers yet. So if I'm like talking to a girl, like I don't have her phone number, but I have her Snapchat, so I message her on Snapchat and like.
Okay, that's an instant red flag, dude. Not giving relationship advice or something, but if she's gonna give you her Snapchat before she gives you your phone number, like there's something wrong there. Like,
I got her number now, so it's fine now.
Okay, I was gonna say because
yeah,
I'd still be wary of that one because there was a reason why she didn't want anybody seeing your messages.
Right. Well, and like I always hate because like my attention span, like 2 seconds. Like with if you send a message on Snapchat, the second you like close that conversation and you go back, that conversation's gone.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
So like they'll respond and I'll be like, what did I even say?
Yeah, because they'll respond like 4 hours later and you're like, yeah, I don't know what we were talking about.
Yeah. Thankfully, like they do have a feature now, but you have to manually do it for every single individual person. To you can have it delete after 24 hours instead of instant. But like it's not, you can't just flip that switch and it does it for everybody. You have to go through one person at a time into that individual setting and select 24 hours instead of immediately. And you can save messages by like tapping on it or whatever. So like whatever, but then I don't know, it takes up space and
Yeah,
I don't
that's still shady to me. Like if you're having a conversation that somebody wants to delete in 24 hours and there's
know. Right.
some kind of reason behind it.
Oh yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, and I think I don't know the like making us more dumb. The social media. I think I've already touched on that. How we're all too reliant on the fact that Google's right there. Like, man, I remember this song back in blah blah blah, which is great because that can drive you nuts. Like if you can't remember a song, and all day, like it happened to me last week. I heard a song by I was gonna give him props here. I can't remember. Wage War, which it's very ironic what the name of the song was. I'll get to it in a second, but I couldn't remember it. I heard it like Alexa was playing. I was like, oh, I really like that song, and so I like replayed it all weekend. And I was gonna tell somebody where I work. I was like, hey, you need to check out the song. And I was like, I can't remember the name. So I had to go back on my Alexa app and scroll through, like 3 days worth of music to find the song. But I found it, so it was very helpful. So it didn't drive me insane. The ironic part is the name of the song was "Forget My Name."
Oh God.
Yeah, right.
Wow,
I know.
okay.
I was like, holy
How could you
shit.
forget that one? Yeah.
Right. So it was pretty funny. So I mean, it helps us not go insane, but I also feel it is dumbing us down to a point where
my attention span is terrible.
Yes,
and like my memory, my short-term memory and stuff, like I'll remember like weird random, like I remember like every line from SpongeBob, but like like certain other like weird conversations, like okay, I sent you a Snapchat 5 minutes ago and I don't remember what I said. What are you saying to my response? Like it's weird.
Like I understand that, like not SpongeBob, but like I can remember a song that I listened to 20 years ago. Like if it comes on the radio, I can remember it word for word.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you ask me like what I said 10 minutes ago, I have not a fucking clue. Mm-hmm. So I totally get what you're saying.
I feel like in a way, well, I guess, I don't know, I was going to say, I feel like music could kind of be different, because like when you listen to a song, you listen to it several times, as opposed to like if you're having a conversation for the first time, like you'd forget it. But it's kind of still the same thing. Yeah, like your memory is worse because of it. And yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's dumbing us down.
Yeah, I just sent a Facebook message. Wow, look at that. Speaking of which.
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away there for a second. So you don't have anything more, huh?
I think we pretty much nailed everything I had. We pretty much nailed most of it early on, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it was a really easy topic to talk about, and I think it might bring to light to some people like how much time they actually spend. And that's what I hope. I hope if somebody's listening to this, they can realize maybe they're spending too much time on Facebook or
yes I am
9 hours too much time on something. And this actually, Xander, this was an intervention for you. I wasn't gonna say anything. I am intervening in your
no, you're good. I need it.
Social media.
Lay it on me. Yeah.
I'm just joking, dude. But for real though, you gotta get some help.
Yeah. I gotta get that 9 down to a 4.
No, dude, you gotta get it down to like an hour. Let's go for an hour.
Let's think for an hour. Oh God.
Think of what you could do with your graphics in that 8 hours, man. Think of that.
Make a snazzy intro graphic for
and
discussion, which
you
I
could.
Hope by the time this podcast goes up, that's done. And if it is, hey, did you like it? Leave a thumbs up. Yeah,
there you go. Thumbs up. Comments.
Or if you're on Anchor, then you can't see it, or Spotify, then you can't see it. But if you're watching this on the YouTubes and the intro was there, yeah, give us a thumbs up and
which that intro will also include a brand new riff written by Spilled Paints. So thank you, Spilled Paints. Check them out on the YouTubes and the Spotify. Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. See what I'm talking about right here?
Sorry.
Yeah, you got me all sidetracked with your intro.
Like
no, like okay, just to kind of wrap things up and shoot on you about your 9 hours of phone usage. Think like 8 hours. Say you cut that back to 1 hour. You have 8 hours during the day to do things, right? Like you are amazing at graphics. I've put you over so many times these last 3 episodes. It's kind of making me sick. But you're great at graphics. You're great at editing. You have an amazing camera. I'm telling you right now, dude, make a fucking movie.
That'd be cool.
Yes, it would be. And I brought this up to you like so many times. Like I have an idea for like 2 movies. You don't have to do those. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you could make your own movie. 8 hours a day. Like sit down, write a script, dude. Doesn't have to be anything great. Just write a script. Get a couple of your buddies together. SE Rocks is game, man. Put me in a movie. I'll be an actor in your movie. and do something. It's great for your portfolio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna.
'Cause I haven't created anything new in a while, so
Yeah.
that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I totally want to make a movie, man. So let's
do
this.
it. Yeah, let's go.
Like that's in 2020, we're making a movie.
All right.
I just broke the news, dude. I don't care if you want it or not. We're making a movie in 2020.
Like, wow, no, that'd be a really cool idea, because I've never, like, even in college, like, I never dabbled in the movie ness. I guess
Really?
that's a word now.
Yeah, we just made it up.
I had an idea for a documentary a couple months ago, and it never really happened either. So it was like, yeah, we'll do a thing. And then I was asking him questions, and I was like, it's not that interesting.
I gave you an idea to do a documentary, and you gotta get motivated, man.
Mm-hmm. I got to get back into the swing of things.
Yes, we gotta get you there. And I got to get there, too, and that's what I'm hoping this podcast is going to do, baby. We announced our bi-monthly schedule, so we're going to be doing 2 a month with 1 interview per month. We hope you guys like those. I hope you like the one on Weston and Tyler we just released. It was really fun to interview those guys, get their feelings on the business, and see their goals. Next up, I believe we have a Top Hat Tom episode coming up on creativity. He will be our next interview. That was a fun one, too. I'm trying to get more people lined up, all walks of life. So if you guys out there are listening and you think you have an interesting story to tell, message SE Rocks on Facebook, leave a comment on YouTube. Trying to get interviews for all types of people. Got a couple people, some feelers out to some people, hoping to get some decent interviews coming in. So thanks for checking us out, guys. Check us out on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube. Go check out Xander Media. He's our graphics guy. Check out Spilled Paints. Check out Killer Pizza. I don't know who else. Jacob Braun. Check out Jacob
T-shirts on Pro
Braun.
Wrestling Tees, yeah.
Support indie wrestling. Support indie music. Support SE Rock. Support Xander. Remember to keep rocking.
And play some Fortnite and stay crispy.